This is note page 18, due process, our rights to a fair trial. As you've learned on note page 17, there are three different courts in the federal system: the district, the appeals court, and the U.S. Supreme Court. All three courts are set up so that they can review one another's decisions. And the reason why we have courts set up to review other courts' decisions is to make sure that the person on trial gets what is known as a fair trial. Now, the term that we use for everything that makes up a fair trial is, did the person get due process? Due process is a very important term in our court system. It simply means protection from unfair government laws and actions. If you're ever in trouble with the law, your due process protections can be found in both the 5th and the 14th Amendment. And the big takeaway point of due process is that it ensures that you get a fair trial if you are arrested by the government. The 5th Amendment is making sure that the federal government treats you fairly in court. The 14th Amendment is making sure that the state and local governments are treating you fairly in court. There are a lot of different parts to due process. You're familiar with some of these parts through hearing what's known as the Miranda warnings. You hear that on television police shows. If you've ever heard in a show, you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to a lawyer, you're familiar with some parts of due process if you get arrested. Some parts of due process: if you're arrested, you have the right to silence. In other words, you don't have to give evidence against yourself. If you get arrested, you have the right to have a lawyer or an attorney. If you're arrested, you have the right for a jury of 12 people to hear the evidence, and then the jury decides if you're guilty or not guilty. If you're arrested, the government has to conduct the trial in public. They can't put you on trial in a secret courtroom in a secret location where nobody knows what's taking place. Another part of due process is no double jeopardy. This one means you cannot be put on trial twice for the same crime. In other words, the government gets only one chance to prove that you are guilty in court. If you get arrested and the government doesn't do this for you, then you do not have a fair trial and you could appeal to the appeals court.